A deer sliced off a piece of venison, raised it to his lips with quiet elegance, then washed it down with a slow sip of red wine. For a herbivore, sitting among a pride of lions without a trace of fear, and eating his own kind right alongside them. But he wasn't their prey, he was their boss. The moment he got back to his room though, he couldn't hold it together. He threw up everything. These days, the only thing keeping him on his feet was vodka. That's when a bookie walked in, the Shishigame's second in command. He'd noticed Lewis's health declining for a while now. He didn't say much, he just quietly set a plate of vegetables on the desk. Lewis saw Ibuki was making a dig at him for being a herbivore. Ibuki was quick to set the record straight. He was just worried about him. Still, keeping up the act day after day was starting to wear Lewis down. Right then, the third in command burst through the door. Someone was asking for the boss. The moment he was gone, the third dropped the act entirely. He made it clear, Lewis was nothing but a pawn to them. Once the Shishigumi settled down, they were going to eat him. Ibuki grabbed him and slammed him against the wall. He made himself crystal clear. Lewis was the boss. Anyone who touched him wouldn't live to regret it. It all went back to the day Lewis took down the previous boss. Just as the lions were moving in to finish him off, Ibuki stopped them cold. He laid it out plain and simple. Lewis was the top candidate for the next B-star. A herbivore running the Shishigumi would completely change how the world saw them. Lewis stood there, frozen, while the lions were still going back and forth. Lewis pressed a gun under his own chin and pulled the trigger without hesitation. He didn't die. They pulled him back from the edge. Then they gave him a choice: eat the venison on the plate, and he'd walk out as their boss. Refuse, and he'd die right there, staring at the meat of his own kind. His stomach turned, but he wanted to live. He picked up the knife and fork. Every bite felt wrong, but he forced it down. From that moment on, Lewis was the undisputed boss of the Shishigumi. Not long after, the crew went out to collect protection money. One guy refused to pay, a turtle who clearly thought he had powerful people behind him. He didn't even bother hiding how little he thought of them. Then the boss showed up, a herbivore, but the presence he carried hit harder than any carnivore in the room. The turtle started to sweat. Lewis kept it short. You want to live, you cooperate, and those people backing you up, they won't be around much longer either. The turtle had nothing left to say. He fell in line. On the drive back, Lewis glanced over at the third sitting in the passenger seat and asked, "Do I look more like food to you?"